Hey guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome yourselves back to another video. Hopefully you are all having a fantastic day. It is Sunday. I think it's Sunday. It means Monday tomorrow. I've just brought you all down. I am so sorry, but hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you do, you know what to do. Smack a like rating. Does that make sense? Hit the subscribe button. Let's get straight into it. So we have seen, or we speculate to have seen, the Origin staff appear within the new GOROD KROVI trailer. I hope I am saying that correctly, but if you take a look at this shot within the trailer, look on the building above Nikolai, you see what looks very similar to one of the Origin staffs. Personally, in my opinion, it looks like the lightning staff, maybe the fire or the ice. The wind one looks a little bit more different, but there's also been speculation around a second staff that's been spotted within the trailer as well. Now, I know a load of you guys have been saying, well, maybe this isn't a staff, maybe it's just, a piece of rubble that's sticking out of the building, which would make sense since we know this is a war-torn Stalingrad. The city is on fire, everything is destroyed, so it would make sense for a bit of debris or metal to be sticking out of the top of the building. That suspiciously looks very much like one of the Origin staffs. I also know some people have said, well, maybe this is just one of the tentacles that are sticking out of these new flying robots created by Group 935 that we also know we have in Stalingrad. And again, if you take a look at them, you can see their tentacles do look very similar. The shape is the same, but for me that wouldn't really make too much sense. And in fact, I do believe that this very well is an Origins staff. Now, before I carry on and explain why I think this and what it could mean, I want you to take a listen to some of these quotes that were said in Origins.
Though lost for centuries, the power of the ice staff is now in your hands. Father said the staffs weren't powerful enough. He said the clues were in the writings of the ancients. The staffs of the ancients were lost, but Father made copies. You can find them. You can get me out. You can open the gateway to Agartha.
So Samantha tells us in Origins, though lost for centuries, the power of the ice staff is now in your hands. She also says, Father said the staffs weren't powerful enough. The clues were in the writings of the ancients, and the staffs of the ancients were lost. But Father made copies, you can find them. And so far from what I've seen, GOROD KROVI has a ton of links, not only to Origins, but also to Mob of the Dead. Now, back in Origins, we had our 4 elemental staffs. These were lightning, fire, ice, and wind, and as Samantha tells us, those were copies, those were replicas of the original staffs of the ancients. Since the originals have been lost for centuries, for millenniums, and still to this day, these original staffs have not been found. But what Maxis did in 1917-1918 Origins is created replicas of the original staffs that first defeated the Apothicons. The staffs that Maxis created are just replicas and are nowhere near as good as the original staffs. Maxis couldn't find them. But now, strangely enough, we come over to GOROD KROVI, which I said has a ton of links to Origins already, and we see this strange object sticking out of a building which looks very similar to the staffs. And I think this could be one of the original staffs that Maxis could never find. We know altogether there are 4 originals that have been lost, and I believe this is one of them that we are seeing in the trailer. This is the original. Not the ones that we saw in Origins, the replicas, but this is the original staff of the ancients. Maybe throughout the map we're going to also see the others, and maybe these are even the wonder weapons that we'll get to use within GOROD KROVI. We don't know. Of course, that's just a theory, but getting back to what I was saying, now you will see this staff, the shape of it, how tall it actually looks. It looks a lot bigger than our original staffs, and that's okay, because if you take a look at the image of our Origins characters, the staffs that they are wielding look a lot bigger than the ones that Maxis created. You will also see they seem to be slightly different in design, and this is because, like I said, we've never actually seen what the originals look like. The ones that Maxis made are mere replicas, and I believe this, what we are seeing in GOROD KROVI, is the original staff that has been lost for centuries. But why is it in GOROD KROVI, you may ask? Well, it's a very strange location for a staff to be, especially one that's supposedly been lost for centuries, and it could be here due to 115 displacement, since we know that's playing a massive part in our zombie storyline right now. Has it fallen from the sky? We don't know why it's specifically there, and it's a very strange location, and would it be where you would really expect an ancient staff to be? And this could just be a nice little Easter egg or teaser that Treyarch have decided to add into GOROD KROVI, maybe hinting towards us being able to get them in DLC 4, and that would make sense since we know, or we really speculate in DLC 4, we've had so much evidence towards DLC 4 being us playing out the scene, or another great battle taking place, the great battle that took place hundreds of thousands of years ago between the original 4 characters, the Primus and the the Apothicons. We know the Apothicons were eventually defeated. I think in DLC 4 we are going to this ultimate place to once again defeat the Apothicons. And to do that we are going to need the 4 original characters that defeated them. And that I believe is exactly what we are doing. We are getting the summoning key which Richtofen has, and we're going around to all of these locations and getting our 4 original souls. But remember, those 4 characters also used the staffs to defeat them. We have the characters all set and ready inside of the summoning key. Well, we need Nikolai, but we know we are going to get him. But we also need the staffs. Without them, the Apothicons can't be defeated. And so this could be a teaser to show us that we are going to be using them again, or at least using the original ones in DLC 4. Or maybe this is for us actually to acquire, to use in DLC 4. Or maybe in DLC 3. It would make more sense for us to use the staffs once again in DLC 4. And if they did come back, I don't believe they would be the same. I don't think they would just reuse the origin staffs in DLC 4, because the originals, as we know, are different to the replicas. I believe the originals are going to be more powerful, even though they still hold the same elements like ice, wind, lightning and fire. I believe the way we use those elements in the staffs are going to be much different. Now, not only that, but remember in Origins we had the steps to the Easter egg. We had, I believe it was 8 different steps, and they actually related to the Vokuda mission where we escape the prison with Reznov, another Russian character who I think we are actually going to be getting some kind of appearance of, maybe hearing something about him in DLC 3. But the steps that we take to completing the Little Lost Girl Easter egg and freeing Samantha in Origins are as follows.
Step 1. Secure the keys. Step 2. Ascend from darkness. Step 3. Rain fire. Step 4. Unleash the horde. Step 5. Skewer the winged beast. Step 6. Wield a fist of iron. Step 7. Raise hell. Step 8. Freedom.
Step 1, secure the keys. Step 2, ascend from darkness. Step 3, rain fire. Step 4, unleash the horde. Step 5, skewer the winged beast. Step 6, wield a fist of iron. Step 7, raise hell. And Step 8, freedom. Now those are the steps in order that we took to freeing Samantha. But notice they are very similar to the things we've already seen in the GOROD KROVI trailer. Step 1, secure the keys. In Origins, that was for us to obtain and upgrade all 4 elemental staffs. And as we've seen in the GOROD KROVI, it looks like we have one of the original staffs. Step 2 was ascend from darkness. In Origins, we had to place the staffs down in the pedestals, and the pedestals would spawn all around the map, but 3 of them would spawn in each of our giant robots' heads. And now in GOROD KROVI, once again, our giant robots are returning. Step 3 was rain fire, and this involved obtaining and using the G-Strike. Now the G-Strike in Origins was basically a little laser thing or a little device that you placed on the floor, and wherever you placed it was where a load of rockets would hit. The rockets would be set off from the robots and hit that specific location where you put the G-Strike down. In GOROD KROVI, you see on the floor there is a beacon that lights up red, and this from a leak is actually called the Dragon Strike. And once again, just like the G-Strike in Origins, wherever you place this Dragon Strike down, the dragon is going to breathe fire into this location, just like the G-Strike where you would get rockets, hit this location and destroy the zombies. Step 4 was unleash the horde, which was to do with the Maxis drone. So far we've seen nothing what I can relate to that, but it involved 6 Panzer soldiers that flew out and attacked us. GOROD KROVI, the only thing I can think of is we have these zombies with these Russian mech suits on. They're kind of like a mix between the Panzers and the Ogre or Shrek that we had in Zetsuba and Noshima. Again, you can make what you want out of that, but step 5 was secure the winged beast. Now in Origins that was to do with the red glowing plane, but the winged beast, what comes to my mind straight away is the dragons. Step 6 was wield the fist of iron. In Origins we had 1-inch punch, but in GOROD KROVI we've already seen in the trailer the fist of iron is once again returning. Step 7 was to raise hell, which involved us going to the crazy place, and step 8 was freedom. I don't know about you guys, but these steps sound very similar to things we have already seen within the GOROD KROVI trailer, which is why I believe GOROD KROVI is going to be the closest map we've got so far to Origins. I believe this map is going to be the most important to our storyline. It's going to explain more about Gersh. I even think we're going to be seeing Reznov, more about the children, the Ascension group, just everything. Treyarch have so much to put into this map to lead us up to DLC 4. Because Origins was the end of the beginning, the beginning of the end. So what do you guys think about this? We have seen so many links to Origins that for me this is enough proof to think that this is the Origins staff. Not only the Origins one, but the original one that has been lost for centuries. Whether it's just a little Easter egg or teaser from Treyarch to show that we are going to be getting some involvement with this in DLC 4, or whether we're going to be able to obtain this in DLC 3 and actually use it as our wonder weapons. Don't know, but it is here, and in some way, shape or form, before the end of Black Ops 3 Zombies, I believe we are going to be seeing them again, because I think the great battle that took place all those millenniums of years ago between Primus and the Apothicons is going to happen, and the only way to defeat them, as we've seen so far, is to recreate what happened. We are doing that so far with Richtofen collecting the O1 souls for Maxis inside of the vessel, but Primus also used the staffs. So to defeat the Apothicons, we are going to once again need the staffs, and I think that's exactly what we are seeing within GOROD KROVI. Let me know what you think, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. What's just a theory, but of course if you want to drop a cheeky like rating on there, it always helps. I always support you guys and appreciate everything you have done for me. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.
The wisdom of the ancients is the key.